Celebrate Happy Valentine's Day. And for those who don't, I hope you have an awesome day anyway. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are revisiting a game that I played about this time, I think it was last year. And it is a really beautiful, simple game, has really amazing music. It's called Sayonara Wild Hearts, published by Annapurna Productions, which is basically the video games division of Annapurna Pictures. Which at the time that I recorded that, it was going through some pretty hot water. Don't know how things are going on since then, but I hope things are going much better. But I especially hope the developers are doing well. But yeah, the backstory behind this game is pretty cool. It's a mixture of a rhythm game and basically a visual album. So I recommend getting some really good headphones on. Sit back with your favorite beverage of choice and some snacks. This should take, give or take, an hour. And yeah, overall it's a really great game. And it all started from this little gamble that the developers had by thinking like, hey, Queen Latifah would be a pretty amazing addition to this game. And by some chance managed to get her contact information, and then they called her. It was like, hey, would you be interested in doing voice acting for this game? And she said yes without hesitation. So that's how she got featured in this game. It's a bit part, but I always think of her voice whenever I think about this game. So clearly that plan worked super well. And a lot of things have changed since I played this game the first time. Before, I was considering going out with someone, or I think, and then the next year I actually did, and then now I'm independent again. But I am still hopeful that romantic love will come my way, even at times that it feels very impossible. But most importantly, I feel because of the universal nature that Sayonara Wild Hearts has in terms of plot, you can actually introduce your own plot into this when you play it. I think the biggest display of love that this game at least displays is self-love. Like the love that you put towards yourself, because that's the love that we tend to forget. Be it with friends, be it with family, but most importantly, the relationship you have with yourself. I hope that this game will help you get to that better space within yourself. I've also been listening to the soundtrack in my own spare time. I actually have the entire soundtrack downloaded on my phone. I tend to listen to like on like car trips and stuff. The soundtrack is by Daniel Olson, Jonathan Eng, and Linnea Olson, who does the vocals. So it kind of has the little bit of that Eurovision pop with synthwave or future funk kind of vibes. You'll see what I'm talking about when I play the game. For those who have not seen my first playthrough, I know, especially when you see this, it'll be kind of a shock because I know you all are pretty much used to be playing fighting games of Valentine's Day, which is loosely based on Sarah's phrase from The Matrix Reloaded. You never truly know someone until you fight them. Though, I mean, technically it still kind of fits the tradition because a good number of these are fights in their own way. Though in this case, it's a fight for your heart to be fixed rather than a fight of a super obvious opponent. So I hope you all enjoy this. I know I've been talking a lot, so without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? And I need to change the notification board here, but anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. How's everybody doing? I've been pretty tired, as you probably saw from last night's game of uh, abduction. But I'm doing much better now. I'm still a bit tired, but because I just came from class and stuff, but I'm doing much better. I mean, my voice is much better too. Much better space. My high ranges are still kind of being worked on, but I think by the end of this week I should be 100% back. And oh yeah, it has a motorbike in here too. Motorbike and skateboarding, so that's gonna be fun.
Something's changed, and I didn't know you're slipping away. Everything is strange.
So we're gonna start from the very beginning, which is Claire de Lune, where we start our fool's journey. Oh yeah, by the way, it has very heavy, not heavy, but like, it has tarot card imagery, so for those who are big fans of symbolism, this game will definitely be right up your alley. So, and this game I think is pretty accurate when it comes to the meanings. So, without further ado, let us cruise through the Fool's Journey in Sayonara Wild Hearts. Here we go.
Long ago, a harmonious universe existed beyond ours, and 3 divine arcana watched over it.
Oh yeah, by the way, the probability is pretty good I might hit a few snags, so if you hear some interruptions to the track, I apologize. Let's restart that to make that a little transition a little bit smoother. I apologize for that. Alright, now let's get into the story.
Long ago, a harmonious universe existed beyond ours, and 3 divine arcana watched over it. But one night, a cursed arcana intersected the astral highways, and along with her star-crossed allies, they stole all harmony and hid it in their vile hearts. Before the divine trio started to fade, they created a heroine from the shards of a broken heart and hoped that she would one day be strong enough to save their world.
And that fool? Be me. There's our hero.
Gold rank!
And our first gold rank. There's our hero and our first gold rank of the night. Excellent. You will also probably feel some very strong goosebump-inducing moments. Don't be alarmed. I've listened to the soundtrack tons of times, and I still get goosebumps at some moments. Whew. I felt some goosebumps while playing that, so... Alright. So here's our first highway. Heartbreak number 1. Let's do it. I also love the very Sailor Moon inspired transformations.
Silver rank.
All right. Doki Doki Rush. Oh, this is a fun one. Here we go. At Hate Hell Valley. This one's a fun one. Like, I feel like I'm in like a Sailor Moon game if I like whenever I hear this track. And of course, the Wheel of Fortune. It's a motorbike.
Silver rank.
And there's our first gang of the game, the Dancing Devils. Ooh, Fighting Hearts is a good one. I think it's our first vocal track, and this is my first gold. Alright. Well, when I first played through this anyway. Let's do it. Dance battle and stuff battling. Okay, I think it's the next one. I think it's like it's always 2 instrumentals per gang, and then the last one is the vocal. So I think this one's the vocal. Begin Again's the vocal. This one was tricky. I remember this one because I could not, because I bumped into the Trollis so many times in this one. But the track's really good. So don't be surprised if I focus a little bit more intensely with this. So here we go. It means getting sucked into material indulgences. You're focusing so much more on the surface level and distraction of what's underneath. Oops. So yeah, see what I said, I'm gonna bump this up more easily here.
Try
love when Chrissy is
Bronze rank.
That's gotta hurt. It does. Alright, so we did much better than the first time I played this. It's a hard track though, as you saw, because I bumped into the wall several times. So that's what I mean by apologizing in advance for track interruptions. There is a mode that I can like play through without the track interruptions, but I prefer to focus on having a bit more of a challenge, especially when you get to the latter half of the game. So I played this during the preview on Super Sasquatch Saturday. So now that I remember this track a bit better, I should do much better. But this one's my favorite Heartbreak track, along with, I think it was number 3 and number 5. So let's go on to our next phase, shall we? Which has my favorite gang, the Howling Moons.
Silver rank.
Whew, that last bit always gives me goosebumps. Like, you feel it even just listening to the track, but you feel even more when you play it. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I don't think it was worthy of a console release. It did get a console release on the PS4. It's not long enough to feel like it was worth it, but on the other hand, though, like, the replay value just to experience the goosebumps as you play, that is worth it. I believe it's worth it. And also, reinterpreting the cards as you play along. Ooh, this one's my favorite because I love how, like with this section with the Howling Moons, you get Linnea Olsen's vocals throughout. It's not vocal heavy until, obviously, the third track. But with this one especially, this is my favorite, and you'll see why. This one's so much fun. At the Whoa Whoa Woods. But in my case, I would prefer to call it Whoa Whoa Woods. It's spelled in WHOA. Because this one's so pretty. Especially with this! The Emperor is a stag. And yes, you can crash into the trees.
Silver rank.
Ow! Yeah, it's a tricky one, but it's a fun one to play. I love the Emperor interpretation of this. So, the moon, I mean, you might see the difference between here. It's all straight-laced, but this one's all wavy. It's because the moon symbolism is about illusion. And to break through that is to go through the depths to see who it is you truly are. So let's hear the remix, shall we?
Silver rank.
Yeah, that was a trippy one, but it's fun. Super trippy one. Ooh, Laser Love's fun. And then Dead of Night, it's our vocal. Alright. It's time to get some fancy weapons 2-hour bike. Of judgment and justice! Very Sailor Moon. And yes, you can even blast the fireballs. Really feel the speed on these guys. So straight to it, Dead of Night.
Can you tell? Does it show? I'm alone in a city of ghosts. I wait till the house ends. I don't know where to start in the search of the beat of your heart. Where to start in the search of the beat of your heart? The
Oops. Now you see why I say it feels like a Sailor Moon track. Oops. I did not think I was gonna get hit by that. Oops. Ah, not far enough right.
I was you. It's
Heartbreak number 3, it's the slowest of the highways, but it's also the most interesting. You ready? Because this is like the second hardest section of the game. Especially when it gets to gets through the lovers. The lovers is the hardest section. You ready? Because this one's the hardest section, which is not surprising. Come on. Especially the fact that we're doing it with the tower. It's one of the most challenging settings. Challenging cards in the tarot. Because it's all about rebuilding a foundation. Often a very broken one. You think I was joking when I said it's the slowest one? I meant it. It's the slowest one. And that was the best I've done the entire level. It's the slowest and the hardest one. Alright. Let's finally interact with the lovers. With hearts and swords. And this one requires a little bit of suspension of disbelief. You'll see why in a moment. Now, contrary to popular belief, the lovers don't mean like marriage or love per se. It's more so, it's when two seemingly opposing forces work together to make one powerful force. That thing about opposites attracting kind of comes from this.
Bronze rank.
So I told you, there was gonna be some fighting in here, so technically we have not betrayed the tradition. But welcome to the Stereo Lovers. Especially with the parallel universes portion. Oh man, I failed so much at this when I first played this game. To the point where it said, "You sure you want to skip this section?" No, I'm not skipping any section, okay? This one was the hardest one. Next to the Hermit. The Hermit was a hard one too. You'll see why in the next couple of sections, but here we go. Yeah, right there. Yeah, see, it's kind of like a game of like, what do you pay attention to and what do you ignore? It's tricky. There's a part of my nose right here. Oop. Oop. Oh, zigzag, zigzag. You did not get me this time! Never mind.
Bronze rank.
Now you see why this one's tricky. This one's so tricky. That was like the best I've done in this section. Oh man, but especially compared to this one hermit section, which is really, it's really weird. I don't think, is there a track for it? I think there is, but even at that, it's really hard. You'll see why in a moment. But anyway, let's go on with our final Stereo Lovers track, which is Mine. Why? I know, see why I say it needs a huge suspension disbelief.
I have laid my eyes on you. Crystal pieces sparkling blue. I never won, but I can't have you. You'll be mine, mine alone. You are like this, and I shine. You fit so perfectly. With all the gold so won't you be my lovely liar? You're the story I desire. It doesn't matter if it's fake. I love to only say
Yeah, when I said suspension disbelief,
glitters, and I shine. You are like glitters, and I shine. You are like glitters, and I shine. It fits. You are like glitters, and I shine. It fits so perfectly. With all the golden inside. Like many times the deal was made. Diesel backed and honest trade. What isn't real can never fade. We breathe
there's suspension, right? Yep, swords turn into planes.
You are like glitters, I shine. It fits so perfectly with all the golden things.
Sayonara Wild Hearts. Silver rank.
Yeah, that sword just turned into a plane. a plane. That was fun. All right. Next section is the Hermit. I find it to be the hardest section in the game. Ooh, this one's another one of my favorite. I think it's my other favorite Heartbreak Highway. You'll see why. And hear why. This is... That's why.
Silver Rank.
It's tricky, but it's fun. That is so much fun. It's good music. Alright, so up next, we are doing the Hermit. Which, the second level especially, hardest one, I think. Because music's a little hard to interpret. Night Drift's a fun one, though. So I have a lot of fun with this one. Ride a Tokyo Drift. Or in this case, kind of Arizona-ish drift. Let's go. In the Desert of Doubts. Our vehicle is a chariot. Very fitting for a vegetarian. Alright. And welcome to meeting Hermit 64. Now, for those who want tarot reading for this one, the Hermit is usually a call for deep introspection. But its shadow side is going to deep isolation to the point of complex thought. Which, especially with Reverie, you can kind of see why. This was the hardest one. It was so hard, I couldn't even rank in it. So hopefully this time I do much better. We need some extra concentration for this one, lads. What's the words? And no, I turned into a cartridge! what's weird is that it's first person.
Bronze rank.
I'm not gonna even rank this time because I bumped into so many walls the first time I played that section. It's tricky. Ooh, this one's my favorite song. If you have a chance to listen to the Sayonara Wild Hearts track by itself, just shut your eyes and play this one. If there's any song I recommend, it's this one, The World We Knew. Especially in recent years. This one's hit close to my heart. I'll explain more in depth after I finish this playthrough, but yeah. This one hits hard. Alright. Let's go ahead and play The World We Knew. I was ready to look up the lyrics for this one, because the lyrics are just delicious. Here we go, peeps. 3, 2,
I'm too young to
Woo! That song hits hard. Whew. I'll explain why in a little bit, but we gotta continue on because these last few tracks are my personal favorite. Starting with just this entire section in general is my favorite. Starting with Heartbreak 5. Crashed actually when I got to this section. Thankfully, it's doing fine now. Oh yeah, I can follow me. Look into the whirlpool and be not careful. Oops.
Bronze rank.
It basically puts everything that you've learned up until this point all together. Again, it's been a while since I played this game. So, this is actually the last game I played before the whole thing with the laptop went down. So, I remember reading some of these sections are a bit rusty. Yeah. You ready for this next section? Look at the transonic gravity again. This one's my favorite. Like, I imagine a super heroic transformation sequence when the hero finally realizes the deep depth of their own power and they transform to who they want to be. Now, in terms of death, the card death, it's not literal. It's more of a phoenix rising from the ashes to begin a new life. So, we're going through the burning phase right now. Are you ready to restart with me? Let's do it. what? I'm losing the flow with this one. Let's restart that. One more time. Much better. Much better. Woo! A petite mort. No death. Ooh, Great Skills is a fun one. Here we go. Get to be Sagittarius for a little bit. Temperance! Oops. That snuck past me.
Gold rank.
Boom! Still got gold rank. And that was the highest one, and it was basically a perfect score. There you go. And now we're getting to the tricky parts. Because we are resetting ourselves inside.
silver rank.
Bad. And alright, we're getting to the final section, and what I consider to be the hardest part. Wild Hearts never die. Because plot twist, all these aspects you've been fighting, they're all part of you. Oh, this is a hard one. We're doing this again, aren't we? Ah! We're doing this again, yep. Ah!
Skip this bit.
No, thank you. I am not skipping this bit. We are going through it. It goes straight. That's the thing I can never predict.
To skip this bit.
You know what? Let's restart this because I'm losing my flow. Whew. What's different compared to the previous enemies is that at least the previous enemies can kind of predict a little bit. This one literally tracks your movements. So that's what makes it trickier. So it's literally tracking as you go. To that last section. Oh! Ah. Now see, that goes way too far. I can do this. There we go. Oh, shoot! I did not notice that. Oh, shoot!
They said diamond knives could kill it, and that our love would live on until it all fades to black. Like a movie, no way back. I'm walking all alone. This is how it is. This is how it goes. 'Cause when I lost you, I lost you. Just need to shake my face. 'Cause when I lost you, I lost you.
Yeah, I trouble with this part too. Goes at one.
Would you like
We're
to
not
skip this?
skipping this.
Would you like to skip this?
We're not skipping.
This is how it is. This is how goodbye. 'Cause one heart's never die. One heart's never die. This seems shaped like butterflies. 'Cause one heart's never die. One heart's never die.
And we're all integrated in a giant circle that is love. And we get to ride
Then
a
the voices of the
dragon.
three divine arcana echo from the beyond. And through the wind, their words soar. From the shards of your broken heart restored the lost harmony of the world. Now you must go and find harmony in your home. Sayonara, Wild Hearts.
Silver rank.
Not long ago, in a town much like yours, there was a young woman who fell out of love, asleep, away. For years she fell through spirals of sadness and anger until she could not fall any deeper and fell right back into her grave.
What's the word? Does that thing have a name? When familiar surroundings just don't look the same, do you think that it's strange? It's my way, I suppose. I'm just longing for a place I don't know. I was used to my safety and peace. I mistook all mysterium with being at ease. But then you came around, said it's time to let go. And you took me to a place I don't know. Come on, take me to a place I don't know.
Sayonara, Wild Hearts.
Something's changed, and I didn't know.
And that was Sayonara Wild Hearts. What a game. So, I first played it when I wasn't in a relationship originally. And now that I've kind of been through one, it hits a little differently. Though, as I mentioned earlier, because I played it before I was in a relationship, there are multiple ways of falling out of love. They don't necessarily have to be with another person. It could be with your work. It could be with your topic. It could be with not necessarily a romantic other, but like even just somebody significant with your life. Like you kind of realize something like there's a mismatch. Or just even if you want to go more into the archetype of this game, you fall out of love with yourself for a little bit. You don't really feel fine. I mean, thankfully, it didn't take years for me to get back to back to solid ground. But for some people, it can. It might. And tools like the tarot, like what we saw here, have been great ways of kind of starting to reflect and see a path out. Games, TV shows, like certain things. Like there's always that one piece that helps you find a way out. And sometimes you have to create the piece that will in turn help you find the way out. And I listened to the soundtrack for quite a few months. And I mean a while. And this was the first time I touched the game since then. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I came back to it because it has reminded me of how much I've grown since then. And also how much further I can go. It's a great place where I can figure out that, like, hey, it's not too late to start over. It's never too late to start over. So on that note, regardless of what orientation you are or what you're doing, I hope you remember that there is love all around you in your life. And it doesn't have to be the dramatic kind. I should have scripted this last part, but I wanted to say what was in my heart, and that was the biggest part. So, yeah. Thank you so much for going through this journey with me. I hope you are doing all right wherever you are. Regardless if you celebrate more of St. Anthony of Padua Day or St. Valentine's Day, or if it's V-Day. I was talking about my V, formerly known as Eve Ensler. I hope this day and from this day onward that you remember to love, honor, and respect yourself and the people that you care about. So, in terms of events, we just did our Valentine's Day special, so that's pretty much done. Tomorrow we'll do more Abduction, followed by Dondara on Thursday. Might do a little break on Friday, then we'll do Sneaky Sasquatch Saturday. Might be back to regular chill stream Sunday. We'll see about that. And here is my social media. In case you're wondering about stuff that I do outside of this channel. And if you want to check out my previous episodes, feel free to do so. And this episode was filmed on the lands of the Lenape and the Nanticoke. To learn more, visit native-land.ca or contact your local tribal council. Shout out to Ross from Repair Group for thank you for saving my laptop from the pits of despair. Anyway, stay safe out there. Don't close yourself off too much because you never know what possibilities are out there. And of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, Sayonara Wild Heart.
Something's changed, and I didn't didn't know you're a slippery